How can one born in the pit of life's struggles see past their own existence? When you have naught but a brass penny to your name, what truth can you know save hunger, or the desire to survive? Power breeds malfeasance. Your kings and queens squander lives like pawns on a chessboard. It is no wonder the darkness fills your heart so. Soon nothing will exist without the taint spreading like a wildfire. Most that can see it ignore it. They shut it in a box in the mind. But no box is closed forever. The mantle has fallen to me to right the world's wrongs. No other will combat it. No other will see it done. The pyramid of society must be rebuilt, brick by brick, stone by stone. But first, we must knock it all down. I'm sorry for what is to come, but before rebirth, there must be death. 2, 1.
Okay, this is episode 7 of season 2 of No Peace Until Death. If you're watching, please subscribe, click the bell so you get nearly daily content here on Blades and Blasters, and we're going to get started. Today we have Straven and Morazzo. Where we left off last time was on the coast of Skellige, and I will read and show a handout to you guys. The waves came. The waves caused the large canoe to jet up and down, over and over again. Water is ankle deep, and all attempts to bail it with your hands or boots are foiled by sudden rainfall. In terrible pain, Morazzo attempts to aid the Witcher Straven to keep the boat steady and moving forward. You lurch to the right, then left, causing you to flail about wildly. Will your strength save you on this short trek across the sea, or will you be entombed in cold blue waters below? Let me switch to save for you guys. Where is it? It's this one. Based on that description, I'll let you guys roleplay.
Morazzo is in a lot of pain, as you mentioned. He's got this really bad compound fracture of his leg, and the boat is just throwing him about left, right, and centre. So he's trying to bail, he's trying to help, but he's having trouble just staying conscious with the pain.
And Straven is just trying to keep the oars steady, trying not to rock the boat too much, and muttering under his breath about how miserable fucking Skellige is.
As you're trying to keep the boat straight, a massive wave, you see it kind of rumbling in the distance coming towards you.
Oh, shit.
Hold on tight.
Why don't you guys give me a physique roll? Yeah, or you could do athletics if it's better. I'll let you add the athletics instead of the physique.
I think mine might be. Let's see.
I'll check what mine is.
Because I get a +3 and a +4 here, I think. Or did you roll 2s? Let's see.
It's not any better, so I'll just take it.
Yeah. Same here.
You are holding on to the boat for dear life. The water comes crashing down upon you, enveloping you completely. You're discombobulated for a moment as you're thrown about into the water. You look up and you see the surface, barely able to claw your heads above water. You gasp for air as the wave passes by. What are you doing?
Just desperately hanging on and trying to stop my leg from getting smacked about, because at that point I will lose consciousness, and that is a very bad time for that. So that's about, I think that'll be about all I can manage right now.
How close are we to this miserable little island?
About halfway.
Yeah, Straven is just trying to push this little dinghy as quickly as he can without tipping them, because he knows if they spend too much more time out here, they are going to die.
Why don't you give me, so you are in the water, holding on barely, but it's taking some work. So I'm going to remove, let's see. Yeah. So -5 stamina from both of you for swimming. And then you can make a physique or athletics roll to try to get back in the boat. You have a -1 for each 5 points of armor. So, maximum. So.
Oh, okay.
So Straven, you have like for 11, for instance, to be -2, and Morazzo, whatever yours is, right?
12.
Yeah, so you're also -2.
Okay.
And you can use luck. Make sure your luck are refilled. I don't know if you used any last session. Morazzo's 4/4. Straven, you can. I'll move you up to 3. Okay.
Okay.
So it's -2, so 16.
Yeah. So you're back in the boat. You're both back in the boat. So how does that look as you both are able to get yourself back in the boat?
So Razzo it's kind of hauls himself up sort of bodily and just tries to drag that leg behind him as sort of passively as he can without kind of moving it or jarring it. But it's very difficult with the boat moving how it is, so he's probably letting out quite a few kind of gasps and swearing as he does so, and he kind of flops into the boat and stops for a second to catch his breath, and then realizes he really needs to just start bailing again. So he kind of gathers himself and off he goes again with the bailing.
Yeah, Straven just yanks himself back into the boat and spits out a bunch of salt water. Fucking miserable little islands. Never going to come to this fucking place again.
Aye, this has been a trip and a fucking half, this has.
Wonder, can you pull your mic just a little bit away from your face, maybe? I'm getting a lot of pop from you. No, you're fine.
Oh, sorry. Is that better? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you're able to bail enough water and row until you're getting close to the shores. It's rocky. It's not beach, right? It's like rocky shores. But you can easily navigate around them.
Can you see anywhere to land?
Probably over where the fucking rocks are. And he starts to
wonderful.
try to guide the boat in that direction.
Yeah, the boat is. You're able to get the boat basically moored on the rocks, stuck enough for you to get out. Although it's kind of going to be a precarious walk for Morazzo due to his broken leg.
Straven steps out of the boat and tries to rope it as best he can, knowing that this is a miserable time to leave a dinghy unattended, but just goes about it.
Yeah, you find like a stump or something, a large boulder table to tie off the boat. You're unsure if it'll hold or not get smashed up against the rocks if a large wave comes, but you're able to more or less get it all secured.
And Morazzo will just try and put his good leg out first and just try and drag the other one out after him, and on all fours if he needs to, just to try and stabilize it. And he won't be going very fast, but he doesn't want to be here too long either, because he doesn't want to get washed off the rocks.
Yeah, it takes a few moments, but you're both able to get off the rocks and onto more dirt. You look out into the distance and it's dark. You see a wooded area. You don't see any obvious signs of any civilization on this island.
Where do you think this witch is?
Which one? The one who's going to fix your leg, or the one who turns you into a dog?
Oh, the one I hope's going to fix my leg. Would be ironic though if we came here and it turned out to be the same witch and she were... No, that would not be good. No. Let's not think about that one.
I don't see anything that gives me any idea there's someone here. So, we'll walk about. Keep your eyes out for anything that speaks to civilization.
Aye, will do. Do I see anything that might be used to kind of fashion a splint for this?
Yeah, there's all kinds of driftwood and that sort of thing. You would easily be able to maybe make a splint or even a walking stick, something like that.
Straven's going to look around for signs of people or anything, really.
Can you give me a... I always forget the name of all the skills in this system.
Awareness?
Wilderness
or
survival?
deduction. Oh, wilderness survival. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, no, you don't really see anything at this point. You're looking around and just everything appears to be washed out, and this ground, even though it's very wet here, is hard. So nothing's made any trails or anything here. You don't. You do see some birds up in the trees that you don't know, but I mean they're very, very oddly out of place. They just kind of look, they're black and with long beaks. You've never actually even seen birds that resemble these exactly.
He looks at the birds for a little bit, and then he looks to Morazzo and just kind of stands there looking impatient, waiting for him to fashion the splint.
Almost done. What were you looking at?
Those birds.
What about them?
They seem strange. Never seen any birds like that before. Not around here either.
So much to do with the witch, you think?
He shrugs. It said she was a wise woman. Doesn't mean she's a witch. But usually they are the same thing.
True, true. I might have witches on the brain at the moment. Morazzo was kind of making conversation to distract Straven from the fact he's taking a while to sort of fashion this splint, so he'll quickly finish it off while he's talking and then try and sort of get up, and if you can use another stick as a walking stick, so much the better.
Yeah, you certainly can. As you are talking and getting prepared to try to move the best you can, Straven, you see something that you might have not expected, but it's not unexpected that you would see some of these. You see on the edge of the woods glowing eyes looking at you as the darkness begins to fall fully.
Yeah, Straven looks over and he looks at Morazzo. Are you bleeding?
Am I still bleeding? Don't think I was.
Not anything significantly.
Yeah. Not much. But I think they can recognize a lame animal when they see one.
Stay close. It'll be less likely to try anything if the two of us are together.
Aye.
And Straven pulls out his steel sword just in case. Just kind of watches the wolves.
Yeah, they don't actually come after you. They, as you kind of like approach the woods, they after a few moments they seem to go in another direction. You don't see their eyes glinting in the darkness. Kind of see that there's a small path through the woods. It's hard to make out in the darkness, but it's almost like they've just come to take a look at you and then be on their way.
And you said that there's a path?
Yeah, it's like a very small trail, single file. There's it's partially overgrown with vines and bushes and all sorts of stuff.
Did the wolves go that way?
You're not exactly sure. By the time you got there, they had departed.
Okay. I mean, not seeing anything else, Straven points it out. There's a pathway behind the underbrush.
Seems better than any other choices we've got. After you, Witcher.
And he looks at Morazzo's leg. How fucked are you?
More than I'd like. I can walk, but not fast. If you need me to run, you'll have to leave me.
Fair enough. And he starts walking along the path.
Razman's going to draw his sword, and he'll sort of limp along with his, using the stick with one hand and having his sword in the other. Just so that if a wolf or something else just suddenly comes out of the bushes, at least he's got something in his hand.
Mm-hmm. You pass through the woods fairly uneventfully. It takes you probably an hour, mostly because of Morazzo's lameness, before you see a hut in the middle of the woods. Yeah, you come off this small path to equally small clearing. You see on this small hill is a thatched hut. It has large animal skull on top of it, with bones protruding from the ground. You see no signs of the witch, but further on into the woods, off to your right, you do make out the eyes of the wolves kind of peering at you once more from a distance, as if they're watching.
Oh well, we're gonna go and say hello.
I guess. And Straven will start walking to the front, watching the wolves warily as he does.
Yeah, they don't seem to
That's all
move
fine.
out of place. Good, Wonder.
Yeah, no, Morazzo will just follow. He's kind of limping along behind and wincing with every step, and he's keeping a very wary eye on. He's keeping one eye on the wolves and the other on this creepy hut. Not sure which is worse right now.
As you approach, you notice that there's no front door. Not a proper front door. It's just open. It's fairly dark inside, although there is a... you definitely can tell that there's a light in there from a lamp, probably.
Yeah, Straven just kind of walks up onto the front area, and then right at the door, and he just peers in, but he just kind of yells loudly or speaks loudly. There's a wounded man here seeking aid. Is anyone here?
There's no response, and as you look inside, you don't see anyone in there. You do see, various accoutrements, vials, bottles, elixirs, that sort of thing. There's what you would assume is some sort of alchemy station with a mortar and pestle and various beakers and that sort of thing. Text line about it smells of the deep woods, almost like mold inside, but it's clear that somebody's been here recently.
Yeah, Straven just walks in. No one's home. He looks at Morazzo. We'll sit here and wait for them to get back.
Aye, sitting down would be a welcome change right now. It's quite painful for him to actually shift into a sitting position, but once he's there, it eases things up a bit.
Yeah, with your amount of rest, we can kind of bump your stamina back up. Yeah, you're sitting there waiting, and half an hour passes, maybe. Nobody's come. One thing you do realize that the lamp that's in the corner that's hanging, it never gets any dimmer. And Straven, your amulet is just ever so slightly shimmering on your neck. Not shimmering, but shaking.
Yeah, that gives him some pause, and he looks around a bit, seeing if there's any obvious kind of movement or something's hiding. Or
no, you don't think so. This would not be what would happen if there was a monster around. This is more like low levels of magic.
Okay.
So clearly something like that is going on. Just let you guys talk amongst yourself for a little bit.
At some point, Straven does sit down somewhere and just continues to look about. for the most part, just kind of waits. He might have a little bit of travel ration or something to drink from his own supplies while he's sitting there.
Yeah, you would have your wine skin or water skin, whatever it was.
Yeah, right. So we'll. He'll have probably had a little bit to just just wet his mouth a little bit. But he'll definitely get up and have a look at that lamp if he realises it's been burning all this time and isn't looking any lower or no signs.
Yeah, you get up and you
rebuilt.
kind of creep over there painfully. Why don't you give me a deduction roll?
Okay.
You notice that it's not putting off any heat at all. Like you actually kind of like touch your finger after you kind of feel this, notice this, you kind of tap your finger against the glass and it's not even warm. And as you're looking at the flame, it doesn't move. It's like constant in one spot.
Is encountering magic like this something that's new to me?
That's up to you.
Maybe not completely. Okay, so Morazzo looks across to Straven and said, "No, will you look at that magic lamp? Don't see that every day."
Bay magic. You shouldn't touch anything.
Aye, I wouldn't want to annoy the owner if she ever returns. Still, nice toy though.
Yeah, it's a trinket.
When you were looking at those vials, Straven, did you see anything useful? Anything you're familiar with?
Well, might have been, but unlike some peasants, I try not to fuck with witches.
I don't know, you make one mistake and everyone just keeps rubbing it in your face all the time. He tries a sort of half-hearted laugh, hoping he'll lighten the mood.
Yeah, Straven half smirks, but just goes back to kind of looking at his blade. How are you feeling, other than the fucked up leg?
Other than that, not bad. Look, Straven, I want to say thank you for sticking with me through all this, and I'm sorry I put you through such shit. It's was not my intent. But you're a good friend.
You don't get to control the fucking weather. And I suppose you wouldn't know a whore from a witch. So, don't worry about it. I was getting fucking tired of Skellige anyway.
It did look to be a bit of a shithole. And you know what? I think if there were one sentence that would sum up my life, saying I didn't know a whore from a witch would probably be about it. Oh well, keeps life interesting. Oh, he's just trying to ease out his legs. He's been kind of keeping it fairly still. It's probably cramping up a bit, so he tries to ease it out without moving it too much. And it's pretty painful, and he's getting quite impatient now. Oh, where the fuck is she?
Maybe she was a snack for the wolves.
Yeah, those wolves, they seemed a bit off to me. Like they were, I don't know, they were wanting us to follow them? No, like they were watching us. Not just hunting us, but watching us with... No, I'm imagining it. The leg's getting to me, the pains. It just seems a bit wrong. Maybe it's because I know there's a witch involved, but I don't like it.
It could be something else.
Something else unnatural, you mean?
Well, maybe they know you're turning into one of them.
Oh.
The smell.
That's a cheerful thought. I hadn't thought of that.
And you see Straven smirk a bit and go back to looking at his blade. You might think he's fucking with you.
Yeah, suddenly I'm starting to think maybe I should have just let myself fucking drown. Oh well, those wolves look pretty happy, right? Maybe it's not such a bad life after all. Maybe.
What exactly would you want someone to do if they knew you turned into a dog? Would you want someone to feed you, kill you?
You know what, that's a very good point. If you'd asked me that a week ago, or before I wet the witch, I'd have said, no, kill me, I don't want to live like that. But the more I think about it, the more I think of an old pet dog I used to have years ago, before I met you. He were a stray, and he were a mess. He really were. But he loved life. That dog, he'd go and he'd scavenge and he'd fight and he'd fuck and he'd love life. So I think, you know what? I want you to feed me. Give me a good life. But if it looked like I were going to be lame and teased by children, there, at that point you put a blade through me.
Well, I didn't say I was going to feed you. I was just asking you a question.
I think you've offered, mate.
I don't have room for a fucking dog.
Well, not even a real one with beautiful hair. And Morazzo tosses back his long blonde locks. He goes, I'd be a fucking beautiful dog, mate. The ladies would love it.
Your hair looks like shit.
Oh, it does now, because I've had a dunk in the sea. But I mean, yeah, they'd love it, mate. They'd love it. Oh, Jesus, when's this witch getting here? Seriously, Straven, I do not want to be a fucking dog. Oh.
Gets up and goes back to looking at vials again.
I never asked you, actually, Straven, what were you doing in Skellige in the first place? I followed tales of a witcher, but I didn't ask what you were doing. I was just desperate to find you.
You helped me with what I was doing. I was taking a troll contract.
Was that the reason you came as well? I thought maybe you just done that while you were there.
No. Weren't any good mainland jobs. A bunch of people trying to hire me to protect fat cunt merchants from other fat cunt merchants. Got tired of it. They always try to stiff you on coin. At least killing monsters, I feel like I'm doing something.
Aye. I mean, I guess we all want to fulfill our purpose in life, right? Killing monsters is yours, my friend. Has there been much of that kind of work about lately?
He pauses for a minute. Things are starting to get worse. Not many people hiring anymore. Or the contracts are shit. Or they try not to pay you. I knew a witcher. He wasn't from the same school as me, but I think he was of the snake cat. He got stiffed by a bunch of farmhands. So they tried to kill him in the farm. He killed a ton of them. Probably 8, 9 farmers. Got stuck with a pitchfork in the back and killed. All because they didn't want to pay him fucking garbage money. So...
that's a shite way to go.
No one cares about witchers, Morazzo.
No one cares until they got a monster problem. Shame.
As you are talking, Straven, you hear the telltale signs of someone approaching from the doorway, and as you look over your shoulder, standing there is this image. A tall woman with black hair, very dark eyebrows, pointed ears, red lips. Her eyes are large, and she does have a wound on her face that looks fairly fresh. She frowns as she sees you. Visitors in my home.
Straven looks at her. The headsman at the village nearby said you were skilled in healing arts. My friend got fucked up by a troll, so he came looking for your help.
You invited yourself in, I see.
Seemed better than standing outside.
She looks over to Morazzo.
Morazzo's desperately trying to make himself look a little bit more respectable on this sort of dishevelled. And he stands up and attempts a charming smile. And says, "Oh, I'm very sorry to just barge into your house like this, but it's a cold, dark, wet night out there. And as you can see, I'm unfortunately injured."
She walks up to you and she leans close to you, Morazzo, like next to your neck, and she actually gives a sniffs you, and she's like, "Ugh, you smell like wet dog."
It's a funny story there. I may be a tad cursed, but I think the leg's a slightly more pressing problem. If you're able to do anything about that, lass. I mean, ma'am. I mean, your worshipfulness. Oh shit, it hurts.
She gives a look over to Straven. Is he always like this?
I have a theory he was a bit touched as a child, but most of what he said is true.
Dropped on his head then.
Repeatedly.
She smiles.
Maybe in the man I am today.
Well, it's done you well so far, clearly.
If I'm breathing, I'm doing well.
Well, I don't know if that's the case. You could become one of my pack.
Can you fix his leg?
I can fix his leg, yes.
Alright. What do you want in return?
Well, she touches her wound on her head and she strokes her finger along it, and you notice it slowly closes the wound, and she reaches for a rag and wipes the blood off. I have a problem on my island, you see. Raiders. They've went to roost, and I cannot get rid of them. All I have are the beasts and the birds at my command.
How many?
I don't know. A half dozen?
Fine. We can take care of it.
Be like old times, eh, Straven? Killing scum together.
I hate killing people, but if they earned it, then so be it.
She shrugs. Well, my magics are not immediate. You'll have to rest while my magics work on your leg. Is that acceptable? 2 days, I think it would take for this. She looks down and she gives it a passing glance.
I'm sure 2 days in such pretty company would just fly by.
Oh, I won't be in your company. If you mean your witcher friend, then fine.
Well, maybe after 2 days alone he might start looking pretty. Ooh, be a terrifying thought.
I wouldn't fuck you if you're the last thing on Earth.
Oh, see, now he's rejected me. Oh, it's a terrible day. He turns around to her, hoping she's smiling, and probably she's not.
Yeah, she is not. She's looking at you stone-faced. Very well. Come over here then, Dogman.
Morazzo gives a deep sigh, tries to look friendly, and limps over towards her.
She roughly pulls off the bandages and the splint and just tosses it aside. Let me see what the healing hands, how long it's supposed to actually take. What kind of wound was that? I think I have it on your...
It was a compound fracture, I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm looking for the level. Yeah, we'll just say 2 days, that's fine. She actually sighs. I know I'm going to regret asking this, but I need you to take off your pants.
See, Straven, they never can resist me in the end.
I don't think that's what you want to say in front of a witch.
And Morazzo quickly goes really quiet and pulls his pants down.
Yeah, you do, and your small clothes, you realize that your legs, you kind of get the view of your upper leg, thigh area, and it's just so hairy, and she kind of winces as she puts a hand on where the bone is protruding out your leg, and you feel a terrible sensation as the bone resets itself, throwing you to the ground in agony for a short time before a cooling wave passes over your body. And as you look down, there's you see that there's still definitely a wound there, but it looks much improved. And she says, "This will take a few days to heal, as I said."
Well, thank you kindly. It hurts like living crap, but it's better than it was a few moments ago. Thank you.
Yes,
Do you think... I don't want to sound ungrateful, but because I am very, very grateful for the leg. Do you think we might be able to do a deal of some kind about the curse? Maybe reach an agreement of some form? Straven's a very helpful chap.
I don't think I can do anything for your curse. That must be broken in a very specific way.
Any idea how?
Well, you must kill the witch or satisfy her demands.
Well, satisfying her demands is what got me into this, but thank you. Thank you, I'll bear that in mind. I think we'll have to seek her out after all, Straven. Thank you, Mum.
Yes, I could perhaps help with your leg as the days pass for the pain, but you can sleep in the other room there. It's more storage than anything, but I can
get you blankets?
Most kind, thank you.
It's better than sleeping with my pack.
That I will not argue with.
One of them might take you for a female. I don't think you would like that very much. Or maybe you would. Who knows?
Well, I doubt it, but life takes strange turns.
Very well. I will return here tomorrow. I have business to attend to in the forest.
Thank you again.
Please don't touch anything. She looks to Straven expectantly if he has anything to say before she leaves.
He just takes out a small knife and starts to dig out a bit of dirt from his fingernails and rubs it against his pants as he's doing so, and try not to die in the woods.
Oh, I think that is highly unlikely. She waves to a cupboard. There's some food in there. Bread and cheese.
We won't take your stocks. We have our own.
Suit yourself.
Morazzo realizes he still hasn't pulled his pants up, so he bends down and pulls them up painfully over the leg. Tries to look nonchalant.
Well, very well then. I shall talk to you on the morrow. And she simply walks past you and out the door.
Oh, thank you, Straven. Once again, I owe you.
I'm not the one who fixed your leg. You owe her whatever. I guess killing some raiders.
True. But I know a man like you wouldn't let me face those raiders. I know that you're planning to come with me because you are a good friend, Straven. Thank you.
Straven continues to pick dirt from his fingernails.
So, I think you should get your choice of bunk.
I don't sleep like you do.
I'd forgotten.
So pick whatever one you want.
Right, will do. It's pretty late now, right?
Oh yeah, it's probably midnight.
Okay, so, yep. Right, so we'll go and turn in.
Yeah, as you go in there, there's just straw on the floor.
I've slept on worse. It'll be fine. Just check it for fleas and get rid of any sort of dirt or any really obvious vermin, and then throw down a blanket and get as comfortable as I can.
Yeah, you so you're just gonna sleep? What are you gonna do, Straven? Meditate?
Yeah, Straven's gonna go ahead and go into, he'll probably just sit where he is and head into a trance-like state.
Okay. Do you have that skill?
I do.
What was it? What does that one do again?
Meditation. A Witcher can enter a meditative trance. It grants all the benefits of sleeping, but allows me to remain vigilant.
Yeah.
A Witcher is considered awake for the purpose of noting anything within double their meditation value in meters, so it'd be 10 meters.
Yeah. Alright. The night falls, and Morazzo, you fall asleep quite quickly. You're exhausted and injured, and the healing seems to have given you some solace. Straven, you kneel down to meditate, but as you do, you hear the floorboards creak in the other room.
The room that he's in?
No, the other room. You notice that it is still nighttime sometime.
So we're both in the same room, or?
Yeah, you would be in the same room.
So yeah, his eyes go open, and he looks at Morazzo and sees him there, and then realizing the witch said she was going to be away, he nudges Morazzo, but wake the fuck up.
Hey.
Shh. There's something in the house.
Razzo nods and carefully pulls out a dagger.
Straven kind of heads towards the door and tries to inch it open to peek out and see what he can see.
Give me an awareness roll. Yeah, you see the image of someone. They're kind of fumbling about over by the alchemy kit. You're not sure what they're doing from this angle.
It's not her, though, it looks like. Is it a man?
It's not a man, you don't think. Well, it could be. They have longish hair, but it could be her, maybe. It's kind of hard to tell. It looks like not the same body type, though.
Bulky, big.
Kind of bulkier than her, for sure.
Mm.
She was, you know...
Lithe, yeah. Straven looks at Morazzo. Wait here a moment. If you hear blades, come out. And Straven will kind of open the door, and he'll step fully in the room and kind of close the door quietly behind him and try to. And then, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh my! Feminine voice says, and an old lady turns around, presses herself up against the counter. Who are you? What are you doing here?
We're invited in by the one who owns this place. Who the fuck are you?
Is that so? Well, I don't remember inviting you in, and I am the owner of this place.
Straven, his eyes narrow. Is she full of shit? What's the roll for that?
Human perception. It's an empathy.
Ooh.
That's probably not good for you.
No, I'd say not.
You are completely oblivious to, you know, if she's telling the truth or not.
Can I hear this?
Yeah, you can hear
Not
it.
far away, right? Can I make that?
I would give you a
same thing?
-2 since you're not looking at her. You can't do like the facial stuff. But yeah.
Okay, cool. What was that under? Is that under
That's
empathy?
empathy.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, Straven looks at her and... You aren't black-haired, pretty, or young. And that's what helped my friend. So, why are you here? I'll ask you again.
Because this is my home. Why are you here? And where's your friend? In my bed, I'm guessing? She kind of like cranes her head around you, trying to look into the other room.
He's hurt laying down. If this is your home, then who is the raven-haired lady?
A raven-haired lady? I know of no raven-haired lady. I was raven-haired once, in my youth.
And
I'll,
Straven just looks confused. He's not really sure what to say. The situation.
Razzo's gonna like peek round the door a little bit just to see if he can see her. Does she look like an older version of the same woman?
Well, one thing you did realize, the other lady, she was definitely an elf. This lady's old, so probably not.
Oh, so I saw she was an elf as well.
Yeah.
I looked at her. So look, this is very clearly a human woman.
Yeah,
and I
if
can
she's
see her
old,
ears.
if she's old, she's a human, right?
And Straven just... An elven girl, black hair, talks about wolves. You don't know anyone out here like that.
I'm the only person on this island. Well, besides the two of you.
I think that you're wrong, because we just interacted with her a few hours ago. And she seemed to think this place was hers.
Well, I'm sorry to say that she is wrong, whoever she is. I would have to ask you to leave.
So we'll step out from the other room.
Please don't harm me.
He hasn't got his sword raised. He's got it out, but just kind of.
Yeah,
lowered.
she's just kind of...
Okay, he'll sheath it then, and he'll say, "Oh, I meant no offence, Mum. We thought you were an intruder. We thought the other lady was the owner of this place. And she certainly helped me. Do you know anything of raiders on this island?"
On this island? No, I don't think so. I mean, this is Skellige. There are raiders all about.
And what of wolves?
Wolves? I haven't seen any wolves on this island.
Straven just looks at Morazzo, and he is just genuinely confused. Let's get the fuck out of this place. And starts heading off towards the door.
Razzo limps towards the door as well. He's keeping half an eye on her because he's no idea what's going on. And what I want to do is kind of go to the door, still keep kind of half an eye on her, just look out and see if I can see the wolves in the woods still.
You don't see anything out there right now.
But does everything else look just the same?
Yeah, everything else looks just the same. It's really dark, though. There's quite a storm out there. I would suggest that you find an eaves to sleep under, and then go about your way and leave this island at once.
With the best will in the world, Mum, we've only got your word for it that you do own this hut, and the elven lady who helped us said we could stay, and I appreciate that if this really is your hut, this will sound strange, but I don't like to leave you here by yourself if it actually turns out it is her hut, because then she's done a good turn for us, and we'll have let someone thieve from her hut. No, I mean no offense, but that would be the situation. I think we should stay. Perhaps we can stay outside, but we'll stay. And he looks across to Straven for confirmation.
Straven just looks at Morazzo and then her, and then looks back to Morazzo. And we said we'd deal with the raiders. We didn't say anything about intruders. If that's who that is.
No, it just doesn't seem right, and it'll be a couple of days before I can fight raiders, and
I don't give a fuck if this wench steals from the elf's home. That's her problem for not having better security, not mine.
Well, if you say so. Well, Mum, I hope you have a good evening in what I fervently hope is your hut. Good night to you.
She's just kind of staring at you. Yes, good night. Good night. Go, shoo, shoo.
And Straven will look around for an eave or something that they can kind of rest under that won't be wet as all fuck.
Yeah, the rain's more or less stopped. It's very damp, however, of course. Outside, let me get you over to another screen.
Also, if I with Witcher, if I ever heard of anything like this, like not body snatchers, but I don't even know what I would fucking look for under this, but anything like this where a spirit or some kind of witchcraft or a monster that can do this kind of thing where, I don't know, could be bewitching somebody in this way, because I mean, as far as Straven's concerned, she believed what she was saying, and Morazzo didn't call her out on anything, so...
You can give me a Witcher training roll.
Yikes.
Yeah, you're completely unaware of what this might be. If anything, it could just be, two people fighting over the same place. You have no idea.
He just pushes it from his mind and looks for an overhang or something.
Yeah. One sec.
Morazzo kind of follows him and sort of mutters to him, "This is proper weird."
Yeah, at this point it's like 5 a.m., you think.
I really need some more sleep. This healing has taken it out of me.
Go back to bed then.
Yeah, and he'll try and make himself as comfortable as best he can.
Yeah, you're able to fall back asleep eventually, and until the sun comes up, which isn't that long from now. It's kind of uncomfortable, but and the sun just cuts through the trees where you are, and you just can't get back to sleep at that point.
Okay. Go around and have a look in the hut.
You go back in the hut. Are you going in, or are you just gonna...
Just to the door. And have a look what I can see there.
You peer in, and there's no one in there.
What about all the supplies? Are they still there, or are they disturbed?
They appear to be all there as far as you can tell.
Well, Straven, doesn't appear she was a thief, whatever else she was.
It doesn't make any sense. But it's not our concern.
Aye, you have the right of it there. So what now?
We wait for your leg to stop being lame, and then we try to figure out where the raiders are. As you might find out, you don't want to break pacts with witches.
True. I'll make a shelter for us for tonight. Try and get a bit more of a dry area than we have here. I think I could kind of extend this eve with kind of a bit more of a lean-to?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'll spend some time doing that. Create a bit more of a dry area.
Yeah, Straven, you're noticing... You just kind of hear the chirping, and you look up, and there's just a lot of those black birds above you looking down. Very awkwardly, like staring.
Is my pendant going off at all?
Still that very low, and it has been pretty much since you got to the hut. Just a very, very slow rumble, kind of.
Yeah, he feels like there's something about these birds, and he looks at them, and he's just looking at them for a long time. And they're not like anything I've seen before, right?
You've never seen birds like this, no.
What do I know of shapeshifters as far as Witcher training goes?
You can give me a roll. Yeah, you know that some shapeshifters, there's all kinds. Some can change into beasts. Some can change into other people. Those are usually... The ones that can change into other people are usually the more, dangerous and, what's it look? Malevolent. But animals could go either way. Usually they're more like nature-oriented, that sort of thing.
Protectors and shit like that.
Yeah,
Guardians.
I mean, they can have their own agendas that are certainly would not be beneficial to humans or other non-animals, but yeah.
Yeah, he just kind of looks at the birds, and he just kind of focuses on that very intently, just looking at them.
Yeah, Morazzo, you see Straven just looking up at these birds.
Oh, they're back again. More of them.
I think they were watching us.
Like the wolves.
Mm.
Oh, this place gets better and better. Still, they're not doing out else but watching. Maybe we should be content with that.
I don't fucking like being watched like this. Nobody watches this much. Nothing does. Not if they mean anything good towards you.
Aye, seems likely. Oh, it's a hellish place, this island.
Hopefully the day goes quickly. And then we can deal with the fucking raiders and be gone.
Aye, that I agree with. As he speaks, he's a little bit preoccupied because he's just watching the birds and getting a little bit kind of creeped out by the whole thing.
Yeah, they're up there for quite a while, but eventually they kind of all like just shoot into the sky at the same time, high above the trees, and you lose sight of them.
Rosetta's had a sigh of relief. Oh, finally. Didn't think we were that fucking interesting.
There'll be something else now.
Lovely.
And as you do say that, you hear, "Where are you? Where are you?"
Yeah, Straven sees her coming along and he looks pretty irritated.
There you are. Why did you leave?
Do you think we're fucking stupid?
She kind of tilts her head back and, well, him.
Oh, lovely. Pleased to see you too.
So, the old woman who claims your hut is hers, you know of her? I'm guessing not.
Old woman. Yes, I do. Did she visit you?
Yes, she threw us out because she said the hut was hers, and she had no fucking idea what a raven-haired elf was doing claiming her home.
She has not been here for some time. I'm not sure who or what she is. I've run her off many times from my hut. But not for 50 years, at least. It's an odd omen.
She mentions 50 years. Morazzo will kind of raise an eyebrow in Straven's direction and look a little concerned.
You've been here a long time, then.
I've been here for 200 years or so. Since I
If I
was
recall
young.
correctly.
Mm-hmm.
If I recall correctly, Ted.
Yep.
The headman said it was an older woman who inhabited the island. Is that right?
I believe did he say specifically? We'll say he did.
Have you interacted with the townspeople at all?
Not directly. They've never seen me.
I find it strange that the headman recommended I come to this place to seek the aid of an old woman. An old, wise woman. We seem to know a lot about.
I am old,
and I am wise.
You don't look old.
Does that matter? Did he say I looked old?
When humans say old, they mean old, not eternal youth.
I'd say so. Nods at this point.
Well, I cannot speak for them. I can only tell you that when this woman comes on the other side of the island, not too far from where you're going actually, rises a fog. I believe she once did live here, and when this fog rose, raiders came, like now. And it is my understanding through finding her notes, long lost, that she was killed by these raiders, but cursed them as well. Perhaps your curse has brought her back.
Curses calling to curses. Oh, this gets lovely. Better and better and better.
So, these are spirits then.
Somewhat. They're hard to classify. I'm not a witcher after all. I have seen them take physical form for certain.
Do you know where this old woman's body is?
I do. It is on the rocks next to the cliff where the spirits dwell. I believe she threw herself off.
One thing's bothering me. Actually, a lot of things are bothering me. But she said she knew nothing of raiders. If she were the one who cursed them, why would she not know of them?
I do not know. I do not think she knows much of anything.
Well. Oh, like me old gran before the end. Sad.
She shrugs. I think it has more to do with the years as whatever she is now. Isn't it true that spirits lose their memories and become feral and wild in the end?
Some do. And Straven... So what do I know of this kind of spirit, I guess,
I mean, generally someone who can die in a traumatic way can haunt the area where they kind of live and get confused. It's all very plausible to you.
And would I know the best way to cleanse that issue? Because it seems like just to Strava, it's seeming like the raiders are just a part of the problem rather than dealing with them being the solution.
Well, her body's clearly not going to be there. So perhaps confronting the raiders, perhaps investigating that area more closely, all would be first steps, maybe.
Straven just sighs. You could have been a bit more forthcoming about that point.
I did not know that she was going to be here. The raiders that I am dealing with are not the ghostly raiders, if that is what you mean. There are men here, real men, that need to be dealt with.
Oh, more raiders.
We deal with the men. I don't give a shit about the ghost.
Well, that is going to be a problem, I am afraid. The last time she came, well, was during a quite a bad storm. And, well, I have no
Morazzo
boat.
puts his head in his hands.
We have a boat.
Do you?
We do. Assuming it wasn't destroyed.
Well, I hope that works for you. Regardless, I do not care about the spirits. They are benign to me, and would be to you. All I am concerned about is with these men. They have killed some of my beasts.
And where exactly are they on the island?
Ah, yes. You must travel east this way, and she points kind of straight ahead, and follow the coast. It is not far, and it's a small island, so you probably could easily do that, you figure, if it's as small as you reckon. On the other side, there's a cave. It empties under the island. There's ways in. I believe you can swim in or sneak in. It's hard to miss, honestly, if you know what you're looking for.
Fine. Deal with it when he's fixed. What is the deal with these birds?
Ah, the birds. Yes, they are nosy. They were here before I got here. This island is quite strange, I do agree. I could not say I know exactly what they are doing at any one time.
So you don't control them?
No, I do not. However, they do not like my presence. Usually when I come near, they retreat.
And Straven nods and then he goes to sit down somewhere.
So, how is your leg?
Morazzo sort of starts. He was so busy thinking about the situation on the island, he had almost forgotten his leg. He looks down and says, "It's a mite better, thank you."
She frowns. Yes, good. She looks sidelong at you and... Would you do me a favor and just pull your lips back, like you're sneering?
Morazzo looks a little perplexed for a second, and then does just what she said.
Yeah, Straven, you notice his incisors are very overlarge currently. It's the first time you've noticed that.
And Straven smirks and laughs a bit. You're going to be barking very soon, Morazzo.
Oh, is it my teeth? Oh, I've been thinking my teeth are changing for ages. And he sort of runs his tongue along his teeth.
Yeah, you really recognize it now.
Oh, bugger. Oh, that's not good. Oh.
I don't...
How long do you reckon, Mum?
Not long. There is something the old woman, I've heard her say once or twice. That ship can take people places quickly. The ghost ship, that is. I don't know the truth of it. I thought it was insanity of the spirit. I think your rowboat, if it is still there... Well, you're not going to take a rowboat all the way back to the mainland, are you? If that's where this curse was, or was it on Skellige somewhere?
No, you're right. You're on the mainland.
Yes, he didn't seem a skeleton to me.
Ghost ships. Ghost ships. Fucking ghost ships. Every time I think this can't get any better, it's just a little bit better every time. Just a little bit more special and entertaining. Oh.
It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, Morazzo.
Brazzo does the most sickly half smile you've ever seen in your life.
Well, although I can't cure a curse, I could perhaps give you a bit more time.
What's the price? Straven says offhandedly while he's picking at bread.
I'll do it for free. But, well, not exactly free.
Actually, Brazzo looks a bit more relaxed when she says that second one. Free seemed too good to be true.
Mm-hmm.
I will need some of both of your blood. For the ritual and for other things.
Other things.
Like I said, better and better and better.
Medicinal purposes, I assure you. Healing agents. Especially from you, Witcher. It's not every day that a girl gets to encounter a Witcher.
And sometimes it's their last. He pulls out a dagger and you have the vial with you.
No, I will have to go collect it. I did not come here seeking anything else from you.
We'll be here. I don't want to get into a fucking shouting match with a dead old woman ghost.
I'll be returning soon. She hasn't really smiled at all until this point. She gives you a small smile and turns around and walks off. Back up the trail.
Oh. Well, thank you. Again, I say thank you. Oh. So, what do we have now? We have her and her beasts and her magic. And another old lady, who's probably a spirit, and her magic. And the raiders that she's maybe cursed. And some other raiders that are alive. And a ghost ship that we might have to actually get onto. And then we've got to give this elf some of our blood. Have I missed anything?
The part where you're turning into a fucking dog.
Yeah, of course. Of course. How could I forget that? Icing on cake. Oh. Well, I'll tell you this, Straven, for nothing. At least it's not boring. You looked fucking bored on Skellige when I found you. And he gives a sort of hopeful half smile. You're not bored now.
No, you're right. I'm wet, I'm cold, and I'm fucking tired, but I'm not bored.
There you go. So I'm gonna go for a bit of a walk and gather some firewood. Yeah, gather some firewood, and keep out your way for a few hours, and let you have thoughts, and come back for nightfall.
Be careful by yourself.
I won't go far. So yeah, I'll go out and just try and find sort of fallen branches that aren't too wet that I can use for making a fire.
Yeah, the canopy gives some decent cover from the rain. And you're able to find some sticks and such. Might be able to make a fire. Before you actually get back, as you're walking out there, you hear a branch snap next to you.
I'll turn and draw my sword in one movement, trying not to put too much strain on that leg.
You turn and draw your sword, and you see standing in front of you. 1 second. Not hiding at all. Oh, hello, young man.
I'll lower the sword. Oh, and hello to you. What brings you out here?
Oh, I was just going for a walkabout. There's not many people on my island. You look familiar, but I can't quite place you. You're quite a handsome fella.
No, thank you. He runs his hand through his hair. He says, I think we met once. Yeah.
Oh, we did. Were you one of my boyfriends?
No, I was never that lucky.
Sometimes I took payment from the locals. I took it in the flesh, if you know what I mean.
Did you now? Look at you cheeky minx.
That's right. That is right. Oh, you have an injured leg. I can tell. It smells something horrible. I can whip up a poultice for it.
I think it's healing, thank you. But,
I think it's quite sickly. If I look at it, it doesn't look like it's healing very well to me at all.
How does the leg feel?
Same. Feels fine to you.
Okay. Oh no, I'm doing well, thank you. It's better than it was.
Oh no, you sit down here and I'll take a look at it. Come on now, sit down. Don't worry if you don't have any coin. She smiles very widely.
Razzo will try and sort of smile, but his smile's kind of looking a little bit fixed and nervous now, and he'll back away and then sort of go, "Oh no, it's too kind of you, but I really must be going back to my wife and kids."
Oh well,
yes.
That's wonderful.
12 kids.
Would you like to come to my hut? It's very spacious.
And he sort of pauses and remembers Straven's back there and sort of goes, "Aye, perhaps I could step by your hut and take a sip of ale or something and just rest up for a moment."
You do look very tired. Why don't you sit down before we go back?
Back to the hut sounds good. Let's why rest on the wet ground when we could rest in a comfortable hut? And he starts walking back in the direction he knows the hut's in as fast as he can manage on his leg.
You're hustling back and you kind of look forward and then look back over your shoulder and then suddenly she's gone.
Okay. Razzo's properly rattled now, and he's probably dropped all his sticks, and just heads back to the hut empty-handed.
Yeah, as you hand back to the eaves of where you're staying, you see the elf woman who has just returned, and she has a bag that she is unloading with various vials and such.
It would be her, wouldn't it? It would be her that was all over me, not you. Oh.
What is that?
Nothing. He looks at Straven and he goes, the old one was back. Older and crazier and friskier than ever.
Friskier? Straven looks at Morazzo.
I'll need a few beers before I tell you that story.
Did you fuck a spirit witch?
I did not.
Are you sure, Dogman?
I would remember. Believe me, I'd remember.
You don't seem like you have very much control. Well, what can you expect from a dog?
Do you see? This is where you get when you start rumours, Straven. Now everyone's believing your rumours about me.
Where's the fucking firewood?
I did actually collect quite a lot of firewood, and then she suddenly appeared next to me and was all grinny and talking about not needing payment in coin, and suddenly I dropped it. So, yeah, I don't want to talk about it. It was weird.
Straven just kind of nods. Let's give her our blood now. And he pulls the dagger out and give me the vial.
I must draw the blood. You can tell me where to cut, but I need to be drawing the blood.
My hand, and he holds out his right hand, which let me make sure I'm getting that right, because
Whatever your offhand is.
He's dodgy.
it's no, it's the mangled one, because I had a Witcher issue where I fucked up the fingers on my right hand and can't do signs with it. So, but I say he'll hold his right hand, and his fingers are all kinds of mangled and fucked up. They still move, but very stiffly. And just cut across the palm.
She looks down and looks at your hand and kind of turns it over for a few moments. Very well. And she cuts fairly gently across, enough to draw blood, and she pretty much takes your palm and takes a small, like, vial and scoops the blood. Not very much at all, maybe like a thimbleful, and corks it and smiles. And thank you. This will be very interesting.
While that was going on, Morazzo was trying to sneak a sip from Straven's wineskin because he's completely rattled.
If Straven notices that he's trying to get at his wineskin, I'll just toss it to him.
She looks over at Morazzo. Are you going to be alright?
I think I am now. Yeah. And he gives a grateful nod over to Straven and takes a not as big a swig as he'd like to of the wineskin because he doesn't want to drain it all. But he takes a mouthful of the wine and goes, "Cut away, you beautiful weird woman."
She looks at you and... Very well. From you, she actually cuts your hand much deeper than Straven's, and takes more blood, and she fills up the vial and gives you a rag. Tie this around your hand, stop the bleeding. I needed
Thank you.
quite a bit of your blood because, well, it's not as interesting as his.
It's half dog. It's fairly interesting.
Unfortunately, curses do not affect your blood that I am aware.
Yeah, well, there's something. Anyway, thank you, he says, trying to look grateful as he flexes his painful hand.
Now, to give you a bit of a head start, that is what I promised. She hands you over the knife and extends her palm. You will need to cut my palm and drink my blood.
Morazzo is absolutely gobsmacked. And he looks at Straven, and he looks at her, and looks back, and his mouth opens and closes silently a few times, and he goes, Could you just run that by me one more time?
Actually, forget the knife. Use your teeth. Bite.
She said you need to suck her fucking blood out. Not all of it, though.
Just a few
that's fine.
drinks
It's
from
not
my
all of-
hand, not my neck. Not turning you into a vampire. Still
kind of unusual. All right. And he very, very reluctantly goes over to her, takes a deep breath, and then goes over and gingerly nibbles her palm.
She
Which does obviously nothing.
reaches back and just smacks her across the face. You have to bite it hard.
I will. And he bites down. So it goes gulps and then goes bite.
Yeah, you're able to get like 2 or 3 mouthfuls full, and your stomach is just, you almost feel like heaving. She's already turning around and wrapping her hands, seems kind of done with it. She says, to Straven, he'll be fine for a little while, but I would find a way to get back to wherever he needs to go quickly.
As she says he'll be fine before she finishes the sentence, Morazzo looks across at Straven and just shakes his head in a very, very worried manner. He goes, no.
Straven nods and we'll find a way. Maybe a ghost ship. Who knows?
I think that is your only chance. It is uncertain how well my blood will do at fighting the curse.
Well, if he turns into a dog, you can have him. Just make sure you feed him.
Morazzo opens his mouth to say something, but all that comes out is a,
Yes, very well. Take care of those raiders in the morn. I'll know when it's done.
Straven nods. Takes his water skin back from Morazzo.
Morazzo's hands are just limp. He's got no strength in them at the moment. He just lets him have it back. He's just looking ahead.
She walks a bit away and says, no thing will bother you in the woods. My pack will make sure of it. And
I'll take your word for it.
she nods and gives a small smile. Well, have a good life then, the both of you.
Straven
Morazzo
nods.
Morazzo again fails to speak, but kind of slightly gives a nervous nod.
She walks back the way she came with after packing up all her vials and such, leaving you two alone as it begins to grow to dusk.
Morazzo says nothing for about 5 minutes, and then he just says very quietly, when all this is over, I am going to need so much fucking beer. I will vomit and I will still keep drinking. Because there is not enough beer in the world to forget this, and I need to forget this.
Straven looks bemused a bit. You mean to tell me, with all the whoring you do, you've never once, even by accident, tasted another woman's blood?
He looks across at Straven and he goes, I've never drunk a mouthful.
And Straven actually breaks into a very rare smile and just shakes his head. That is probably the purest blood you will ever have. Elvish witch blood. And you're complaining about it.
So you're telling me it's I shouldn't be worried because some witch had me drink her blood because it's good blood?
I'm not an expert on blood.
Witches.
But you could definitely do worse.
Well, I suppose I won't catch a disease from it. On top of the curse, and the hauntings, and the witches. and the wrong witch wanting to jump into bed with me and turning into it. Yeah, okay, okay. Oh, I know it's early, but I think I'll turn in, try and get some sleep.
I'll be right here.
You fall asleep as Straven is meditating. Is there anything you guys are going to do?
No, Morazzo's just he's gonna have a hell of a time getting to sleep. 'Cause he's really worried about what the witch will do with his blood and what her blood might do to him and what kind of thing he's just entered into, and he's got to go on a ghost ship, and yeah, he's having a lot of trouble sleeping.
Yeah, I just whispered you how your night goes with sleep.
Straven meditates soundly.
Yeah. Yeah,
Morazzo's making some strange
yeah.
noises.
Otherwise, you know, Morazzo, you finally kind of like roll up to your knees at like 6 a.m. Your eyes are, you know, red and you have bags underneath them. You've barely slept. Straven, you're completely fine. There's been nothing of significance except you do realize the birds are back watching you.
Yeah. Straven will just be looking at them at first. But around the time Morazzo's waking up, he might actually throw a stone at them.
Yeah, as you throw a stone, they kind of leap into the air and fly about, but there's so many of them, they just kind of reposition themselves somewhere else.
Annoying flock of cunts. And he turns and... Are you awake yet?
Morazzo sort of turns over and just goes, "Oh, Fiora, you're insatiable again," and then sort of opens his eyes and goes, I'm awake. I'm awake."
How's your leg?
Yeah, your leg is, as you look down, it's sore, but you have no problems like stability wise.
"Oh, it's pretty much mended. Let's go and kill these raiders. I really need to kill something."
Alright, dog man. Let's get moving.
After everything he's been through, Morazzo barely reacts to that. He's just, "Okay, dog man, yeah, sure."
Alright.
Yeah, as they're walking along, at some point, probably a little bit further into the walk, Straven will look at Morazzo. "So, this witch, the one that's turning you into a dog, what is your plan when you see her?"
"I'll start by asking nicely, but I will happily kill her if I need to, after the shit she's put me through."
Fair enough.
You walk through the woods and it only takes perhaps an hour to get to the other side. You look down upon the rocky coast and you see likely where Fora has been describing this to you. You see that there is a large cavern entrance in from the water, So there's almost like the water like goes into the cave a bit. It appears to be the only way in that you can tell. You do see you don't see any ships or anything here though.
How high is the water?
I mean it's crashing against the rocks, so I mean it's probably, I don't know. You could probably swim. It's probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 feet deep right there.
And this is the cave that she believes.
Yeah, that's what you're assuming. Yeah.
So he starts tightening all the straps and everything that he has, and just looks to Morazzo and goes back to tightening the straps, just so he doesn't lose anything that he has. You ready to go in there? Oh, he's AFKing for a moment.
Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna grab a drink too. I'll be back.
Sure.
I'm back.
Yep, me too.
I am here.
Cool.
So you are getting ready to go down into the water towards the cave.
Yeah, it's about 5 or 6 feet deep, and Straven's been tightening straps and everything. Looks to Morazzo. You're ready to go for a swim.
Aye. Let's do this. And following Straven's lead, he's all kind of tighten up all his gear, and he'll try to make sure his sword's not going to fall out the scabbard while he's swimming. See if he can kind of secure that in there, and then follow Straven.
That would be his luck, wouldn't it?
It really would.
Oh no, I don't have a sword. Great. Alright. Give me a sec. Hold on one sec. Hold on. Give me just like 2 minutes.
Sure.
Sure.
Sorry about that.
It's alright.
All right.
Okay. So you're at the mouth of this cave. It's fairly well lit, surprisingly enough. Actually, hold on. I don't think it should be. Just give me a sec. Either of you have a torch?
Don't think I do.
Let me take a look. I have flint and steel, but no torch.
I'll assume that you got one from her.
I can carry that.
You both got one, it's fine.
Okay.
Even though it's light out, inside you can't really see anything. Very well, at least. So you can feel free to just kind of move forward and just kind of describe what you're doing.
Yeah, Straven has his steel sword out. He's, again, it's raiders, so he's not really worried about anything bizarre as of right now. So he's got his steel sword out, carrying a torch in the other hand, and he just starts making his way down the cave.
Are you being quiet, or are you just going straight down? Is there any...
I mean, we have torches. I'm not
You could
just
snuff them
in
if you
here
want.
making a shitload of noise, but I'm trying to be fairly quiet.
What about you, Morazzo?
Yeah, I'm taking my lead from Straven, so
Okay.
yeah, if it should be fairly obvious he's trying not to be, really just sort of blunder in. So I'll try and be moderately
Why don't you
quiet.
both give me a stealth roll? Yep.
Morazzo moves with canine steel.
Yeah, but as he's doing that, you kind of, Morazzo, you're realizing that he's not being particularly quiet. And you hear like, "What's that? What's that?"
And I'll tap Straven on the shoulder and then sort of put my finger to my lips.
Yeah, Straven just looks at him and then looks in the direction of the voices and He isn't all that worried about being too sneaky about it, because she said it was only a half dozen, and Straven's not really scared of a bunch of bandits. And so he's kind of stops in this place for a moment. Does it seem like they see him?
Yeah, no, not yet. They're just kind of like coming down that way now.
He'd rather have the benefit of sight, to be honest. So he's not snuffing his torch at this point.
Yeah. Who goes there? Someone yells.
We're here on behalf of the witch.
Oh, she's cursed him. She has him in her grasp as well.
No. She asked us to get you fuckheads out of here.
Well, that is your misfortune.
No, my misfortune is a completely different witch cursed me and is turning me into a dog. Killing you guys is not going to be a misfortune.
They look at each other, and you see in front, kind of coming around the corner, standing on this bridge just a bit above you. Not sure what you can see, but is this huge, very stereotypical skeleton, and he has a big sword on his back.
Oh! Did I hear you say you had come to kill us, did you?
Kill you, make you get the fuck out of here. Either way is fine with me.
Well, I wished we could go, but our boat has been destroyed. That witch has harassed us for days, sending her wolves, killing my men.
He kind of looks around.
Morazzo will whisper to Straven. We have a boat.
We don't know if we still have a boat.
No.
And there are a lot of these fucks. I don't know if they would fit in it. Or do you want to tell the witch that we fucking help them?
Yeah. Fair point.
Look, and he kind of looks at all the bandits. You crashed on the wrong fucking island. Get some planks together, some driftwood, build a shitty raft and fuck off.
The guy on the bridge just shakes his head.
No, we'll die. Have you seen the weather? The waves are giant. They would crush a raft and we would all drown.
Where are you headed?
Say it again.
Are you headed anywhere in particular? Mainland?
We were not headed to the mainland, but if there was a ship to take us somewhere, we would go.
How do you feel about ghosts?
Ghosts? Don't know anything about a fucking ghost.
Me and this dog man are going to take a ghost ship to the mainland. We can either fight and kill you in here, or you can take that and fuck off with us. It's up to you. I only offered once.
What the fuck are you talking about? A ghost ship? Is this some ploy to have us come out and have her wolves attack us and kill us?
Well, if it is, you're going to fight for your lives anyway. But if it's not one, then you're fighting in here and dying without leaving this fucking place.
You're outnumbered.
I like these odds.
And when he says that, he really does like these odds, believe you me.
Let me see something. Do
you have let me look at something on your character.
Intimidate.
Well, I was gonna look at your reputation level should be 4.
I don't know.
I'm just gonna pump it. Can you roll that? There's a button next to it. It's on your background. I switched your sheet. I just wanna.
Is that the info number?
Yeah, I think so. Is it? Oh, I rolled it. Sorry.
Yes. Oh.
We both rolled it. You rolled better. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of looks you over and maybe realizes what he's looking at with your 2 swords, and you're a witcher.
Oh, your eyes work.
My sword works too, but I have no quarrel with a witcher. If you say there's a way off this fucking desolate island, then I will take it.
Okay. Get these idiots and let's go.
Get your stuff. We're going. And they all kind of rush back and start gathering up their shit.
Straven looks at Morazzo. That was easy.
Not over yet, but better start than I expected. Gotta watch these buggers.
And Straven will wait for all them to gather their things.
Yeah,
Just kind of idly stands.
yeah, it doesn't take them too long. They appear to be, you know, lightly equipped and packed, at least for now.
Alright. Let's get moving.
One of them nods. Very well. I hope you are not trying to trick me.
Morazzo's kind of heading towards the exit, but he's kind of almost kind of sidling, really, because he's trying to keep a good eye on them.
Yeah, they don't appear to show any signs of potentially doing anything. Give me just 1 second. I'm just updating something. You head outside the cave, and as you do, you hear like this horn blow in the distance. And off the coast, you do see a ship in the distance. Oops. Wrong screen. The men with you just look kind of... Is that the ship you're talking about?
Probably.
That ship was not here when we were here earlier.
It's a ghost ship.
What the hell is a
Probably
ghost
comes
ship?
on at once. A ship that's a ghost.
My god.
What, you've never been on a ghost ship before? Come on. Morazzo's actually enjoying the fact that there's someone who's some people around now who are going to be even more freaked out about this than he is. So he's acting like it's completely run of the mill for him, an everyday thing.
Well, what do we do then?
Looking at the ship, Ted, is it coming to the island? Is it on the coast?
No, it's like kind of moored, anchored slightly in the bay there. But you notice there's somebody in a rowboat, and they're like coming closer and closer and closer. And as that happens behind you, you hear someone say, "Oh, you did find them." She's just standing on the coast behind you.
Straven turns and looks, and we did. We're taking them away, old woman.
You need to destroy that ship.
What for?
Because of what they've done. The evil they will do if they leave this place. What they will do to you.
And what are they going to do to me?
I suppose I do not exactly know, but not good things, I think.
You're already dead. Don't waste my time.
Dead? What are you talking about? I fled from them. They did not catch me.
He smiles. I won't be destroying anyone. Unless you can get me to the mainland. They're how I'm getting off the island.
She looks to Morazzo. What about you, my love?
He looks a little bit uncomfortable at that. Frankly, if they're going to do something bad to us, it has to be worse than turning into a dog. For me to be that fucked about it, really.
She cranes her head at you, like, very confused.
What are you talking about? You're my husband. You can't leave me.
You are madder than a shed full of badgers. Wow. And he sort of looks at it and he says, I'm not your husband, love. I'm just some bloke that was in your hut. Wow. Look, we're going to go and you stay here and be bonkers, right? It'll all be fine. He sort of like
She looks really
indicates
confused.
the boat with his head. Bradshaw's kind of like his sanity's almost fraying at the moment. He's really desperate to get off this island.
Yeah, she has a tear in her eyes. I can't believe you're going to leave me. I'll teach you. From this day on, you know what it is to feel pain when you've left your love. And she, like, turns around and covers her eyes, crying, and runs back into the forest.
There's a long pause, and then Morazzo turns around to Straven and says, did I just get fucking cursed again? Did I just get fucking cursed again after all we've gone through to get rid of this fucking curse? Did I just get fucking cursed again by another fucking witch?
At least we know where to find this one.
Morazzo just stops for a second, and he just quivers with rage, and then just turns his head up to the sky and screams with rage. Had enough.
Yeah, the guys, the raiders are looking between each other, and whatever you hear one of them say, maybe we should just stay in the cave. But the guy that's rowing the boat, he stops about 10 feet in front of you, just kind of, it's like sitting there. Says, "We want passage on our boat, is that right?"
6 of us.
Oh, we only have room for 5.
How close am I to one of the random bandits?
Close enough to strike them if you so wished.
Seems good. Yeah, he'll just kind of flick with the wrist, try to just either impale, decapitate, whatever seems easy.
Yeah, one of them just, ah! And they look at you and look at him, and the guy in the boat smiles. Wonderful. Bring the head. My captain likes skulls.
Yeah. Straven will just nonchalant sever the neck and looks at the rest of the bandits. Any objection to that?
And they just look at you and look at him and don't say anything.
Morazzo gets into the rowboat. He goes, "Oh, come on! Come on, don't stand there all fucking day. Fucking cursed again. Fucking bitch."
Straven just shakes his head and gets into the boat.
Yes, well, where you'll be going?
Anyway, away from this shitty island.
Mainland, wherever you make port.
We'll have one minor detour if you don't mind.
No.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well then, shall we?
You're the boatman. Go ahead.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And he begins rowing back out to the boat. In the boat you see men similar to him, ghastly images of white hair, milky eyes, decrepit flesh on their face, just standing around watching. Let me ask you,
Morazzo?
have you ever thought about taking up sailing?
I think he's talking to you. He looks at Morazzo.
Morazzo doesn't even register. He's just muttering to himself. And they're absolutely furious. He's not really paying any attention to anything much that's going on around him. Fucking cursing the fucking witch. And yeah, you can't make out much of it, but yeah, you get the vague idea. He's probably good actually, because he's just too angry to be scared right now.
He looks at Morazzo for a minute and shakes his head again and looks at the boatman. I do other work. I'm not much for water.
Did this one say something about curses?
He's having a bad week.
Well, where we're going, no curses can follow.
Well, that's good news for him then. Hey, Dogman.
Morazzo sort of looks up at that and goes, "What?
Where we are going, no curses can follow."
Really?
Oh, yes.
Ah. Oh. Well, that'll be a turn up. Oh. Doesn't seem like my luck at all. No. Maybe things are looking up.
Oh, you will find the island very, very, very welcoming. And the rowboat kind of clanks off the side of the boat. And
When he hears that last sentence, Morazzo goes, "Oh. Okay, now it's sounding a bit more like mine."
Somebody throws a ladder over, and the caretaker turns and climbs up. One of the bandits turns to you and says, "What the fuck have you got us into?"
You wanted off the island. Be careful what you wish for.
They frown very deeply.
Straven will turn to head up the ladder.
Let's see. Give me a sec. You get on the boat and people are milling about and they leave you pretty much alone. And you're looking around and all of a sudden you kind of realize that you're moving, but it looks strange. You're moving in a deep fog, and then the distance finally you see it's like almost like 15 minutes, 30 minutes maybe. You see something in the distance, this island and a huge like a lighthouse and that kind of like peeks out over the water. Ah, the caretaker is next to you and says, home. Our stop before we make it to the mainland.
And Straven looks at it. Is it a shithole?
Is it a shithole? Well, for some it is home. I am glad to be back after so long.
When are you leaving?
Leaving?
When are we going back to the mainland?
Oh, you can go back very soon. I do have one request. There's someone that took something from me. I want you to find them. I want you to do them harm. You want gold? I have more gold than you can imagine. More riches. Pearls upon pearls upon pearls.
And he just thinks on it. Morazzo, if you wanted to go ahead.
Yeah, Morazzo was going to make a comment about the home, but now he's heard all this, he's sort of rather than just kind of weighing everything up.
Yeah. Straven thinks on it. The one who hurt you, are they a monster?
They are to me. They're a thief.
I don't kill thieves unless they're monsters. Talk to my friend. Maybe he'll do it for you.
Normally, I would happily kill someone for money, but as it happens, I'm in a little bit of a hurry because of a curse. And I really need to make it to the mainland as soon as looking possible.
Oh, you see. What curse do you have? Feel yourself. This, as I said, no curse can follow you here. And you do realize that your teeth are normal, everything, you kind of like look down your shirt.
Oh, appears we have a bit more time than usual. Well, Straven?
It's your choice if you want to take that deal. I don't kill thieves unless they're monsters.
What did the thief take from you?
My babies. My beautiful little children.
What kind of children would a thing like you have?
Oh, they aren't mine by blood, my surrogates. Does I need to tell you everything of my horrors and my pain?
Well, if you don't mind, it would be helpful.
This man stole them from me, took them away.
What are they? What a surrogate. I heard that word before.
Yes, he stole the mother. Stole her away.
And you said that if we were to do this, there would be gold and
Pearls, pearls. I can show you many pearls. Make you rich forever.
And if we didn't do it, what would happen then?
Oh, quite literally nothing.
Would you still take us to the mainland?
Maybe.
And if I did do it, would you definitely take us to the mainland and fast?
How do I know you're not lying to me? This one who stole my precious children, he lied to me.
Well, would you know if I brought your children back?
Yes.
Well, then it seems my scope for lying is a little limited then.
But if I let you
If I get
go,
them.
and then you do not bring them back, then what?
Where are your children? Are they here?
No. They're gone.
So were you proposing to let us off here, or were you proposing to take us to the mainland and then we go search for your children?
Yes, that is it. I take you to the mainland and you find the one who killed my children. They're gone. He took them from me. They can never be returned. I need vengeance against him.
Oh, now. Huh. Aye. Seems like a job to me, Straven. You be happy to do it if I do it?
It's your job. But if we're in the same place, if I have nothing better to do, then sure.
Ah, you're a canny one. Yeah. You act like you just can't be fucked, but yeah, you're a loyal friend and you'd follow me anywhere. That's what I love about you, Strav. Aye then, we're up for it. You have yourself a deal.
Wonderful. Wonderful. His name is Grimwolf. Bring him to me.
Rimwolf. Huh. What manner of a man is he?
He is a cunt. A skeleton. Bring him to me. Don't worry about anything else. I will give you everything you need.
Very well. Okay, take us to the mainland then.
First, dinner. And the boat sidles up against the shore, and he lowers the rowboat and climbs down inside. And shall we?
If we have to, then he will Straven will stride from the deck.
Morazzo will follow reluctantly. He's not sure what kind of a meal they'll have in a place like this. Not looking forward to finding out.
You climb down into the rowboat, and as the caretaker's rowing back in, you hear the guys that you brought with, "What about us? What about us?" And then all of a sudden you can't see what happens, but their calls are silenced. And I'll just let you take it away here as we end the session.
Okay. Morazzo turns back for a second and looks towards the boat. For a second he looks slightly troubled, and then he just kind of shrugs and looks up towards the top of the cliffs and kind of sighs, and then draws in a breath, draws himself up and goes, "Right then, dinner it is. Straven, after you, mate."
Yes, after me, of course.
Always. After you. For a second, Morazzo gives a smile that's just a hint of his normal self.
Straven looks up at the tower and all around. Just curses his shitty luck of having so few friends that don't get him into trouble.
The caretaker is like facing you as he pulls the oars, and he just smiles, a decrepit smile, as the screen does fade to black, and that's it.